A shalom to the hopeful elect. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone who teach the truth and rule well. This is Brother Yatab Yawa'Allah coming back from the GMS SF Bay Area camp with a quick lesson. All right, Lord's will is edifying, but this one going into the destruction, specifically of Babylon. All right, and I got this video pinned up from the brother. All right, which they had that council. All right, for the what do they call it? The Doomsday clock, and it moved 4 seconds. So I'm gonna let this play, and that's no coincidence because what's gonna happen here in America? This place is gonna be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. All right, there's a reason why the Lord put it on the spirit of these nations to build up a nuclear arsenal. Okay, because they're most definitely gonna use it. But let me play this, and I'll grab some precepts.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Alexandra Bell, and I am the President and CEO of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. It is the determination of the Bulletin's Science and Security Board that humanity has not made sufficient progress on the existential risks that endanger us all. We thus move the clock forward. The Doomsday Clock is a tool for communicating how close we are to destroying the world with technologies of our own making. The risks we face from nuclear weapons, climate change, and disruptive technologies are all growing. Every second counts, and we are running out of time. It is a hard truth, but this is our reality. It is now 85 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been to midnight.
So you see it. All right, 85 seconds to midnight. All right, which, just goes to show uh the 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 way things are going in the world, so to speak. All right? And ultimately, only the Lord knows the time, but we know for sure what the scriptures say. And what does the scripture say? That this place is going to be destroyed. All right, and yes, it's going to be destroyed with the technologies that Esau has made. All right, and the main technology is what? That thermonuclear bomb. Okay, and again, there's no coincidence why you have all these nations that have nukes that are building up their nuclear arsenal. Okay, because again, the Lord is going to have them use it. Now, let me start with this. This is 2 Peter 3:10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Now, the scriptures describe nuclear fire. Okay, when we go into the second death, all right, when we go into that lake of fire, as the scriptures say, that's all talking about one thing, and that's thermonuclear destruction. Now, we're going to get how it's specifically talking about the land over here in America. Okay, now it says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." And this is what that technology is able to do. All right, that nuclear technology is able to melt even the elements. It says, "The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up." All right, everything that you see here in America is going to be destroyed. All right, it's going to be a line of confusion. You're not going to be able to differentiate, if I'm saying that the correct way. All right, or you're not going to be able to recognize one state from another. There's not going to be any landmarks here. It's just going to be one heaping desert. All right. It says, "Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" And this is, towards the elect. All right, those who are in the know. Okay, what mind frame are we in? What is our conduct? All right, what are we talking about? All right, if we are, calling ourselves the hopeful elect, if we believe in the prophecies, well, we know this is going to happen. And if we know this is going to happen, well, what are we doing about it? All right. Well, we're doing what the Lord has commanded us to do. All right, warn the elect, and um, seek and store up these riches. All right, going into the knowledge and wisdom, so Lord's will. All right, we be saved in these times to come. It says, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High. And this is something that we look and haste for. All right, we're rushing it along. Okay, because we understand that this has to happen before the kingdom is established. All right. One of the prophecies before Yahushai uh, um sets up the kingdom on earth, okay, is a nuclear destruction. It says, wherein the heavens shall be on being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And after this destruction, there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. Does that mean a whole new earth and a whole new heaven? No, it means a renewed. All right, when you go into that word new in the Greek, it's kainos, which means renewed. All right, and what does fire do? What does a nuclear fire do? It's a cleansing agent, and it's going to cleanse this place, and specifically this dirty, nasty, wicked place over here, America. All right. And what's going to happen? Hey, the power structure is going to be destroyed. The beast, the dragon. Okay. And then what? You're going to have Yahushai and the elect establish the kingdom. All right. I'm going to jump over here. Isaiah 34 and 1. It says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. So this message is for everyone. All right. It says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath devoured them to the slaughter. All right. And the main slaughter, all right, in that war, the third world war, as it speaks of in Revelation, the 11th chapter, is going to be over there in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. All right. Joel, the third chapter, goes into it. That war that gathers all the nations. Okay. It says, he hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, and the leaf falleth from the vine as a falling fig from the tree. All right, and if you can picture this, this is a nuclear mushroom cloud. All right, as it rolls together like a scroll. Okay, it says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, talking about those ICBMs, how they touch the atmosphere, all right, the outer atmosphere, and come back down. It says, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse, to judgment. The sword, and again, Babylon and Edom are synonymous, okay, because who runs Babylon? Esau, which Idumea is just the Greek word of Edom. It says, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. It says, and the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks and the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with the blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. All right. And again, this place has a lot of blood. All right. And ultimately it's going to be cleansed of that blood. But this whole land of America is one big altar. All right. So we're reading about the great slaughter. All right. The lambs, the goats. This is one big altar for the Lord. Okay. It says, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. All right, and this is what? This is literally a nuclear desert. And how is that gonna happen? By way of the thermonuclear bombs. Okay. But let me jump over here, Jeremiah 50 and verse 9, and it says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly, and this code word Babylon is talking about America. It says, assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. All right. And this is code for nukes. All right. You have Russia. You have, their Russia's allies. Okay, but then also the scriptures talk about all ye that bend the bow, and the beast hating the whore. So basically, everybody who has nuclear capabilities is going to be shooting their nukes over here in America. All right, and it's beautiful having Trump in there right now because you can see how he's tarnishing these relationships to where, hey, these countries are saying they don't need Babylon no more. All right. It says, "In Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all they that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because you are glad, because you rejoiced, O you destroyers of mine heritage, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls." It says, "Your mother shall be sore confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness and a dry land and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate." This is what's going to happen to this place, America. "Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hissed at her plagues, because it's going to be an example. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow." Yeah, everyone who has nuclear capabilities, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she hath done, do unto her. And again, this place has a lot to pay for. All right, specifically the blood of the saints. All right, and that controversy. So what is the Lord going to do? He's going to utterly destroy it. And he's going to put it in the spirit of these kings of these nations to shoot their nukes at America. All right. And again, Russia has a big part of that. Isaiah 13 and 17, and the subheading is Babylon will fall to the Medes. "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them," and in these modern day Medes are the Russians, "which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." So even though America has a part in making these nations rich, or America still does certain trades with these countries, Russia's not going to care. All right. All that, whatever money or silver and gold that America has to offer, it's not going to matter in that day. It says, "Their bows shall also dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children." They're not going to care. It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." And we can read what happened there. All right, fire and brimstone. "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there." All right, and then it goes on to talk about the unclean beasts that are going to live here, but that's about it. No person's going to live here. No clean creatures. It's just going to be desert creatures. All right. After that smoke clears up, it's just going to be desert creatures that dwell here. But again, it's going to be that example. All right. And I'll get this last one. This is Malachi 4:1. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven." And it's not one of those regular ovens you have now. This is those ancient, they get real hot. It says, "And the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch." And again, this is what's coming to America. All right. And we are what? We are 85 seconds, supposedly, to midnight, which midnight represents their destruction. Okay. But again, there's no coincidence why we have things like this coming out, because the Lord is showing us that, hey, this thing is close. All right, this nuclear destruction, this destruction of Babylon, the destruction of the power structure of Esau. All right, it's near. It's near than we believed. Okay, and it's just gonna get closer. All right, but hey, we are real close. Okay, and again, things like this are going out because hey, this is talked about in the scripture. All right, America specifically being destroyed with thermonuclear fire. But yeah, just a quick lesson. All right, Lord's will, this is edifying. Once again, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, and Abba Baba.